welcome back to Horde of Tales. We are playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians, a mini campaign that I've called Double Edged. It's like a sword. I can finally say it. It's like a sword, gang. It's double-edged sword. Okay. I am playing this wonderful game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians with this wonderful table, thanks to Evil Hat, because they've sponsored Horde of Tales to play a bunch of their games during Pride Month. So there are groups playing Girl by Moonlight. We're playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and there's also Monster of the Week. So many wonderful things that you need to check out if you'd like to. I'm not in charge of you, but you can do it if you want to. It'll be fun. And if you also see these games and think, wow, I'd love to play those, you can go into the link in the chat that's probably coming up right about now and check out the games. And if it's still Pride Month, you can use the code PRIDE24 to get 20% off of some of those games. So yeah, check it out. It's good stuff, gang. It's good stuff. So big thank you to Evil Hat. And you know what? Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves, starting with you, Sam.
Hello, folks. I'm Sam. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a science communicator from Scotland. I'm a white cis man with brown hair, a brown beard, colourful glasses, a blue shirt with stripes on it, and I'm really excited for this final session.
Heck yeah. And Anya.
Hi, I'm Anya. My pronouns are she, her. I am going to be playing Nyx Lamar, and I am dressed as her. I have a dark brown wig on that I've braided, and has a fun little hair thing in, and dark clothing with a pop of color, and that's a fun time. So yeah.
I noticed that you did a little bit of a costume change slightly, right? Is that to
a little bit.
Yeah, it's very good. It's good. You notice these things.
Maybe.
Fantastic. Ida.
Hi, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latina woman of color. I have tan olive skin, hair that is still misbehaving, and I have sort of android-esque makeup on my face. I am going to be playing Dora, the Hollow Queen playbook. And I might lean into the camera very dramatically when it suits me. You'll never know when it's coming. You've been warned.
Mm-hmm. But when it happens, you know. And the rest of us go, ah! And last but not least, Sakaya.
Hello, everyone. I am Sakaya. I go by she, her pronouns. I am wearing a long pink wig and a pink jacket and fluffy green ears. And today I shall be playing Chrry Hart, the influencer. I'm playing, it's the Troubadour playbook, and friends are hard work apparently, so maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something else that isn't a friend. We'll see.
I don't know what that would be in Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Hi, I'm Liv Kennedy. I'm the Gayme Master for this wonderful mini campaign that we've had together. I'm going to get emotional, but it's been really fun. And this is the final episode, and we're going to be focusing mostly on our wonderful Dora. And by the way, I use she, her pronouns. I have short, curly, cropped hair. I've got a tattoo on my right arm that I'm quite proud of. I'm just describing little bits and bobs now. I wear glasses. I am mixed race, white and Afro-Caribbean. And I've got a black top with LGBTQ family cool things on it. So, yeah. All right, gang. Oh, before we get into it, content warnings. It's good to know what's going to be coming. So here are a few. There might be an updated list in the chat, so check out the chat for the updated list. But we've got identity crisis, battle, corruption within ruling classes, mother figures, and rebellion. Once again, I don't think that, don't infer anything about the episode from that at all.
So no fighting is what you're saying. Not at all.
Just because I mentioned that the fighting move exists to you, gang, which you already knew, but I was like emphasizing it before we began. Nothing. Don't even worry about it. Also,
in fairness, Chrry could be told,
Yeah. Look, Chrry. Look, I bribed you with XP. It's a whole thing.
Words are just words. Thirsty Sword Lesbians means that we're going to be drinking a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. Stay hydrated, especially when watching Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Hydrate or die straight.
Yeah.
Not during Pride.
Every time. Yeah, we won't allow it. Not today. Today of all days. And yeah, something I'll also mention is that if you've noticed that my NPCs' accents keep changing, no, they don't. Don't worry about it. I know what their accents are. All right. So let's kick things off with the wonderful Dora. Dora, when you are just relaxing in the academy, in the very little time that you get to relax, maybe in the evening after a hard day of training, where do you think you go? What do you do?
Dora is a holographic entity humanoid that has committed to living as a humanoid within the capacities of a humanoid. So maybe if Dora, once upon a time, when she was first discovered as the digital assistant of an ancient technology, may have been able to do some of those things. She does not do those things. So even though she doesn't need to sleep, she will go to a bed like any other student and lie there. Does not dream or sleep, but will lie there. She will sit for meals, does not need to eat or drink, but will imbibe as part of the social exercise. Has a photographic memory, but will read analog books and take them in at a speed that is comparable to other humanoids and other students. And to relax, she would likely try to find gardens, manicured gardens that I'm sure are plentiful throughout the academy, particularly one that is very vibrant with all sorts of butterflies. And Dora has a particularly fondness for watching bumblebees be very diligent as they gather pollen. And there's something just very calming about standing very still. And only when you're very still and focused can you see that there are dozens of bumblebees, all just kind of bumbling about, their little butts covered in pollen, singularly focused. And Dora takes a lot of comfort in watching their focus and relaxes.
I think that Dora spends so much of her time here and has gotten so used to kind of the way that these bumblebees work. They've almost gotten used to her as well. You know, they would normally kind of like, you know, fly away post haste if another student from the academy came by. But they know that they can get close to you, that you're not going to make any sudden movements, that, you know, maybe sometimes they can perch on you and you're not going to be afraid of any kind of not the bumblebees tend to sting often, but like not afraid of that at all. Do they even sting? I think they have one and done. Who knows? Maybe Dora. But yeah, they are gentle around you because you are gentle around them. And it's kind of, maybe, do you think it's comforting to you because though perhaps you think of yourself as not entirely human, you're able to engage with nature in this way? How do you feel about that?
Definitely. Nature is one thing that would have been very foreign and new to her. And having this space, very safe, colorful, but busy and goal-driven place is very soothing. And it's also aesthetically very pleasing. Nature is very capable of beauty in the way colors and petals and shapes are formed.
I'm gonna say that you can remove a condition for just being a part of nature and just kind of doing what relaxes you and taking in the sight. What condition do you think you might remove?
I will. Dora would then remove the insecure condition. Watching that, despite the world being much, 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 much bigger for these bumblebees, they are able to focus and get the job done. Mm-hmm. So Dora feels comfort that if they can just focus, all their tasks that need to be accomplished will be accomplished in due time. Honey will be made and everyone will rejoice.
Mm-hmm. And the things that you have to get done, you and your friends have to get done at the moment, along with pretty much everyone else in the kingdom, you are looking for clues as to the whereabouts of Princess Harmonia, who was recently taken under the school's nose and was taken away by Yamai, who is somebody that it turns out Melody was a childhood friend of, who Chrry had a kind of crush on when Yamai attended the school, before Yamai disappeared, seemingly without a trace, and everyone was just kind of told that she went rogue and started acting dangerously and using her wielder powers for the worst, I guess. Along with that, this is the final term for all of you. Graduation is around the corner, and that is possibly why the bumblebees are in full swing as well, because it's summer. It's getting close to summer. I think thinking about all of this and kind of allowing yourself to be introspective and kind of like come up with a plan, which is something that you are going to discuss with your friends in a little bit. You're just kind of like killing time for a bit before you meet up with your friends. This moment of kind of clarity hits you, but then it opens up to something else. You kind of see flashes. It's like you're trying to hold on to something that is kind of like slipping out of your grasp. But when you do hold on to it, you see flashes of bright blue. You see technology that you've never seen in the world around you. You feel a kind of sense of not only nostalgia, but of foreboding. But something that you do recognize completely in these flashes is Professor Sophia's face. Professor Sophia being the professor who found you when you first, well, as far back as you can remember, I suppose. Do you want to tell us a bit more about Professor Sophia?
Professor Sophia is the chair of the archaeology department at the academy. Professor Sophia and their crew have engaged in ruin excavation missions and have found my interface and have been able to extract me as a digital being and has granted me autonomy and has been the first person to ask what it is I desire.
And what did she ask of you?
She said in exchange that I would live as the students here do, live between as them, behave as them, have their experiences, and grow and love them.
Yeah. Professor Sophia is someone that you definitely look up to, and someone who cares for you. Absolutely. The closest thing maybe to family that you know of. But you feel this uneasiness, these flashes, they've been happening more and more regularly as of late. And it's getting closer and closer to the time that you think you should perhaps talk to her again, go to her office, her research lab on the edge of the academy, maybe have a chat with her. But for now, you need to meet with your friends.
I must meet with my friends. I don't think they would have insight into what I am experiencing. If I'm certain they have no insight, is it appropriate to ask for guidance? Would this be too much of a burden on them? I must see my friends regardless.
You know what? I'm going to offer you some XP, Ida, to tell your friends about what you're experiencing and get some insight from them.
Oh, well, I guess I'll take it.
To be clear, when your Gayme Master offers you XP and using a string to offer you XP, you don't have to accept it. You can say no. But you want the XP. The XP is great. You get 5, and then you get a thing, which is great. So with the idea in mind that you are going to open up to your friends and tell them about what you're experiencing, you head off to find them. Where do you think you'd all be meeting?
If we're still singularly minded on rescuing Princess Harmonia, I think we would have all been doing independent investigations, and perhaps it's an empty classroom where we can likely use one of the boards if we need to take notes or do one of those cool strategic maps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, for sure. You definitely like have, let me see. Yeah. A classroom that like isn't often used. You've kind of like taken over it, and you've got like one of those pin boards that has like all the different pieces of string lining up to things. Just kind of like you've got a picture of Yamai in one corner. You've got a picture of the princess. You've got all sorts of different things that could possibly lead you to where they could be. Who do you think? Do you think you're already here, the rest of the gang, when Ida comes, or do you think do you think Dora would be there first? Probably. What do you think?
I feel like Nyx would be there with a giant carafe of coffee, and is just like sitting at a desk staring at everything.
Mm-hmm. This coffee is like probably the thickest coffee you've ever seen, I imagine, and it's the evening.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Love that. Who arrives next?
I think that Melody would have been walking along towards this meeting place, just on a call with grandmother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just checking in.
Absolutely. Serafina, your grandmother, is delighted to hear from you and is like, oh, hello. Hello, honey. How are you doing? It's great to hear from you. Are you eating enough? You mentioned something about your Wilder beat. No, Seraph. No, that's me. Ha! Celestia, Wildfire. How did all of that go? You still hate her? Have you had a falling out? What's happened?
Yeah, it's awkward. It is a difficult one, but working through it.
Okay.
Other things that have to be dealing with just now, so I've been thinking a little bit less about it.
Okay. Well, if she's being mean to you, you let me know, and I will have a chat with her. I'll do it.
Oh no, you don't need to do that.
I'll do it. I'll talk to her. I'm very persuasive.
I know you are. You don't have to tell me twice. But no, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just pottering around. My lilies have really come into bloom. The summertime is a great time for gardening, and it's what I love best to do. So, having a great old time.
Good. Well, it's always lovely to hear from you, or to hear your voice.
And yours, my dear. Can't wait to see you after graduation. I assume you'll be staying with your old grandmother for a little bit before you go off saving the world?
Oh, yeah. Well, I need to come home for a little bit at least and just sleep in my own bed. And yeah, it'll be good. Be a change. It's been a difficult year.
It has? I mean, I did see the whole kerfuffle with the princess. Oh, dreadful stuff.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on it. Like, some of us are working really hard to try and bring her back, and we'll do it. We will do it. We've got like some of the best people at the academy here in my little group, and we'll get her back.
Is it on you to get the princess back? Is it not on the elite guards and such?
Well, it's the question we're still asking.
Yes, I would think that's not. If you need me to have a word with someone, you let me know.
Well, could I? Do you remember a friend of mine when I was really young?
You had so many friends, so popular. Which one?
Mai. Her name was Mai.
My little Mai. Yes, little Mai. Oh, yes, you two got along fantastically.
Whatever happened to her?
I don't know specifically. I spoke to her parents and her grandmother and father, and they were always very proud of her. I don't know what she's up to now, but she always seemed like such a sweet little girl. She would look out for whoever she could. That was something that I was quite grateful for, because she would look out for you too when you needed it. It's always good to see a young one with such a good head on their shoulders, you know?
Yeah, she does seem like someone who's got a lot of bravery.
Why do you ask, dear? Have you seen her? Or?
Yeah, she's kind of involved in the whole, princess going missing.
Oh, is she helping you look for her?
No, she's the one who took the princess.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, you must be mistaken. No, it's a good little girl. No, she I mean, woman now, I suppose. You're all old. But that doesn't sound right to me.
No, we'll saw it. I'll send you a video on your old gem, and you can have a closer look, and you might be able to you'll see. But just focus on
like a DVD.
Yes.
You'll mail me the DVD, and I will put it on my DVD player. Would you be able to? It would be better if it's on some kind of tape. Honestly, I can't. I'd have to dig out the DVD player, have my tape recorder. You know.
I don't know if we can put things on tape here at the Academy anymore. I don't know that they still have one. Maybe they do. I can speak to some of the history teachers.
All the magical technology. Talk to your Dora friend. Talk to your Dora friend. I'm sure she'll be able to do it. Or the influenza one. Talk to her. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll be able to help somehow.
Okay.
And I'll send you the video on a cassette.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Yes, of course.
When you were my age, how did you tell someone you liked them?
Well, honestly, a lot of people came chasing after your old grandmother. You know, I had a way about me. I had a way about me, and people, they were just drawn to me, moth to a flame. But when I found your grandmother, it just, I think it was one of the first times that I had to do, well, I don't want to say the chasing, that's weird, but I approached her and I said, hello, we've been friends for some time now, and I would like to spend some time, just the two of us, and see where it takes us. And that worked for us, but who could say what works for everyone? I suppose it's just about being honest, and if it's meant to be, then it will be.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Does that mean you are looking to talk to someone that you perhaps are interested in, my dear sweet Melody?
No, nothing like that.
You've got to tell Grandmama about what's going on in your life. I can help if you want. I can talk to them for you. I'm very persuasive, as we said before. So
it's lovely to speak to you. I'm going through a tunnel.
Okay, love you, ma. Boop boop.
Grandma wants to talk to everyone.
Grandma loves to chat.
Call your grandparents or family members if you are in contact with them. Go call them after the show.
I'm sure it's going to turn out exactly like that. Call your gay grandmas, everyone.
Yes, those.
Yeah. And whoever. So, Melody, do you head in to meet your friends?
Yeah, I will compose myself after that and jam away and into the room.
All right. And you see Nyx chugging on some coffee.
Just holds out the cup directly at you. Is just continuing to stare.
I would love a cup. That would be great. Thank you. And I will just like chug a whole cup and then hand it back again.
Can I emphasize
It
enough? It
is
is like 8 p.m.
cold. Yeah, this coffee is cold at this point. Not purposefully, so it just went cold.
I can get you some decent iced coffee if you need it.
I don't really care about the type of coffee. It's caffeine. Do you get any sense of a connection here? I've been looking at this thing all day and I can't figure it out.
Well, I phoned home. I knew this Yamai when we were very young. I knew her as Mai, and I asked my grandma what she knew, and she was just a sweet girl, looked out for others, and stood up to bullies. And that's kind of how I remember her as well. So, standing up to power, wants to try and rebel against authority, really.
I don't blame her for that, but there has to be a reason, and kidnapping someone, not exactly the cool thing to do.
No, agreed. Maybe the others have some more information. What about you? Any thoughts from you?
Honestly, how long has it been since she was kidnapped?
I'm gonna say it's been around about 2.5 months.
Oh, okay. You know, with royals, usually there's some kind of ransom or something like that. Like, they aren't just kidnapped and then disappear. Like, there's a reason for kidnapping them, and there's been nothing. At least nothing official that we've been told. And it's just bizarre. We haven't heard anything at all, and that's concerning.
It's almost like biding time for something.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Makes me nervous.
I will say that is exceptionally correct. There has been no sign of any kind of ransom, any kind of negotiation. It could be that the royals are trying to keep it quiet, but you would imagine that Yamai, from what you've seen, seems to want to make this a spectacle. That's why she did that when she did it. So why wouldn't she make it public? And this might be around about the time that Chrry heads in.
Yeah, I don't think Chrry heads in as such. I think Chrry's changed a lot over the last couple of months because of the impact of the event, but also because of how that has affected her, the way in which she views friendship and her fake personality versus, what she's inside. So she's been, again, like trying to do a little bit of damage limitation. I think she lost followers, but she also refused to. I think there were like big kind of like Chrry stands that put out stuff like, "Oh, Yamai used this mind magic on her and like froze her," and I think I went very public with like, no, I froze. And I think she's had a very humble, like public persona since then, which has helped repair some of the damage, but maybe changed her viewership slightly. But she hasn't had many avenues of ways to explore like where the princess may have been taken. What she has been doing, she's been training. She's like, I'm not going to freeze again, and when I meet her, I'm going to be ready. And so she's been, in the gym or wherever, like doing her sword training. So Chrry comes around the corner, sees Nyx in conversation with Melody, and maybe Melody's slightly got her back to Chrry, and Nyx is sort of facing, but not like side on, not where she can really look at the door. And Chrry just sort of, she can't hear what Nyx is saying, but she can just see her talking, and just sort of leans against the door and just takes in the sight. And she's probably there when Dora turns up behind her.
And Dora would have timed it so she would be entering the door at exactly the appointed time.
Yep. None a second earlier or later. Very good. Yeah, Dora appears behind you. Chrry.
Hey. Oh. Time already. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, we're going to do this.
We have much to discuss. Come. And I usher Chrry inside.
Before we move on, how many conditions? What conditions does Chrry have, rather?
Well, so she still has the frightened from Yamai in general, and hopeless.
Okay. I think you can get rid of frightened. I think that the fact that you've kind of distanced yourself and you've kind of pushed that kind of influence side of you away slightly, to me reads as like running away from something important, kind of leaving that behind. So I would clear that condition. Cool. So Dora, would you like to tell your friends about what you've been experiencing?
Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining us as we will take into consideration all latest developments in the case of the missing Princess Harmonia. I am loath to report that further inspections of Lot 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4D of the city, where there has been an increase in abandoned buildings, has unfortunately not turned out any other signs of Princess Harmonia's whereabouts. Also, I have been seeing strange flashbacks and feelings of nostalgia. However, I think if we expand our searches to grids 5 and 6, we might have better luck.
Rewind.
If we expand our search to plots 5, 6, and 7.
No, the bit about flashbacks, Dora, that had nothing to do with what you were talking about, and so clearly you were trying to bury it with your other information. So could you elaborate?
Yes, I can elaborate. Companions, do you recall during the trial when we encountered the door with the glyphs?
Yeah, you were fantastic in getting us through it.
It is something that I was not familiar with, yet at the same time very familiar. These feelings of familiarity have been returning as of late. They could be entirely coincidental, or they could be related to the Princess Harmonia case. Either which, I bring it up because I am concerned that it may either be a distraction or something that decreases my usability to help solve this case.
Hey, Gayme Master, can I roll to figure somebody out? Because I want to see if there are any changes to Dora since I've known them.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Please do.
So I realized I didn't roll at all last session.
Damn. Oh my goodness. Roll.
There was a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, yeah.
Okay, so figure someone out is plus
wit.
what? Plus wit. Amazing. So that is a 10.
Amazing. You don't even have to use a string. Wonderful.
Oh, which is, I think I only have one. Yeah, I have one against
you have the guilty condition?
I do, but that's emotional support.
Oh, you're
that's
so right.
Oh,
yeah, so that would be angry. Yep, you're so correct. If you were angry, then it would make it more difficult.
Cool. I'm not angry.
Yeah, you're fine.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so you may ask 2 questions from the list below, now or later on in the scene. I'm gonna say him again because I keep saying him. What are your feelings towards blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How could I get you to blank? What do you love the most? Or how do you feel if I blank? And also just any question that you might want to ask.
Yeah. So with this, while Dora's talking, it's not necessarily that I'm trying to figure out precisely what their feelings about things going on are, but more like as I'm watching them, it's more I'm trying to see if there have been any like physical changes to them or like things that have shifted like they're this hollow goddess form, like has anything changed with that regard? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, if you don't mind me speaking on your behalf.
I was going to say, like, Gayme Master, would have there been changes?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. I think that you can see that. So what I imagine when I think of Dora is that she has these kind of like circuit board lines going across her body.
That's the word, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we got it. And I think they probably emit like a slightly brighter blue glow as opposed to like the rest of it. That's what I imagine. I might be completely off though. I would say that the glowing from those circuit board, it's brighter. It's kind of like shining out even more. Like if you're walking along with Dora during the evening, when it gets late, you can see that kind of like she is lighting the place up a little bit. It's not like oh, you're glowing kind of thing. It's there seems to just be more kind of power being used, almost like if you had like a gaming PC or something, and you could like see, like you could kind of hear like a whirring or something with it kind of using more energy. I think it's like similar to that, but it's the glowing that is manifesting as opposed to like a whirring. And I would also say that because your form is kind of like holographic, right?
Yes.
So, I would say that every so often when Dora gets into these kind of moments of introspection, her form kind of like flickers a bit more. It's almost like she's putting so much thought and getting into what she's experiencing and looking inside herself that the effort to like keep up the hologram kind of wavers a little bit. Or once again, that the kind of the effort is being put somewhere else.
Interesting. And so my other question would be to Dora then, is what are your feelings towards these flashbacks? Like, what do you think they are, the reason for them? Like, is the meaning behind that question?
Dora would be unsure what they are genuinely, but Dora is accustomed to finding pathways to answers and resolutions. The fact that this one does not have a clear-cut resolution is new and not entirely pleasant to Dora. I think maybe for regular humans, the unknown is something you just have to experience. For Dora, that's very few and far between. And it's not entirely pleasant. It's concerning.
I think it's also kind of made worse by the fact that I feel like Dora is able to kind of has so much information on things that are external, but when it comes to both the internal side of other people and herself, she's not able to grasp it, and maybe it's kind of pulling on those feelings a little bit. What do you think, Haida?
I totally agree there.
Okay. So you've mentioned about these flashbacks. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Are there, within the academy or the surrounding town, are there like famous, like old relic-y, you know, ruins of the old empire kind of thing, that there may be some way that Dora could find connection? We could open up some pathways. You know, does the city have the Acropolis kind of?
I think the closest equivalent to that would be the ruins that you were in for the first trial, just on the edge of town, on the kind of the edge of the academy itself, even like just further out, not too far away from the field research lab that Professor Sophia has.
Hey, what if we go back to those ruins? You know, where we did the trial, and if the way that you open the door happened because you were connecting to something from the past, maybe it would happen again. We could work something out.
That is a possibility. However, is this a worthwhile endeavor while we are supposed to be singularly concerned with rescuing Princess Harmonia?
Feels like it might all be connected in some way.
It could be related. Like, why was that even there in the first place? If you're the only one who could have solved it, there had to be a reason for that, right?
But these flashbacks have been coming since the princess got taken, right?
In recent weeks and months, yes. The ruins would be under the purview of the archaeology department, and the professor's station is not too far from there. Shall we inquire?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing my concerns, friends.
Would you like some coffee for the road? Just to keep your spirits up.
I have a lot. It's a little bit sludgy at this point, but
Heavy caffeine consumption late at night. Dora goes into a list of potential medical complications and why it's not the healthiest thing.
Cherry's
Just kind of
nodding.
drones on about it.
That's nice. Big coffee.
While Nyx consumes their juice. That's the worst way I'm going to put that. Do you head out to the research lab? Okay. Yeah, it's not as though you're all kind of confined to the academy by any means. It's just that with all of the rigorous training that you go through every day, you find that gathering the energy to do that, it can be quite difficult. Hence Nyx with the huge carafe of coffee. But you head out onto the grounds, and it's not too far away. It's not too long of a walk. But you come up to this lab. It's like it's fairly expansive. It's there aren't any kind of like windows on the outside. You might assume it's to do with like, I don't know, some kind of experimental effects and needing like, light to not be present when it's happening, but it's very closed off. I also will say that as you're getting closer and closer, Nyx and everyone else at this point notice that Dora's circuit board is getting brighter and brighter, and it's almost kind of like it's just lighting the way as you go at this point.
Dora, does anything feel different to you? Do you notice that you're brighter?
Yeah, are you okay?
I do notice an increase in luminosity in the immediate vicinity where my body is taking up space. I do not seem consciously able to control. Apologies. Is this distracting for you? Is this causing accessibility? Is this too bright?
Not distracting, just concerning. Especially since you don't know the reason why.
How should I react when there is something happening to myself with beyond my own control?
Well, there's no set way for how you react. That's how you feel in the moment.
While aesthetically pleasing,
yeah,
I wish to understand the reason why.
Yeah. And I would have explained to them everything that I had noticed.
Okay. Do you think that rings true for Dora? Do you feel like you're kind of running hotter than you normally would? You're kind of like, is it with all of these flashbacks and all of this kind of introspection that you're doing? And I think to an extent, the amount of effort that you're putting in to try to understand everything around you,
do
you think
Dora's
it's culminating?
overclocked, essentially? Yeah. I think because she is leaning on her capacities that she doesn't technically need to eat or sleep. She is going grid by grid, block by block through the city. She doesn't experience exhaustion or tiredness in other people's ways. So she has been overworking herself because she feels that is how she needs to be useful. And if she is not useful, then she's not needed. And Dora doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand a role where she's not needed because she was created as something to be used and to be assistive. There's no other form of existence if she's not being helpful. So maybe she's a bit worn thin, but doesn't understand what that experience is like.
Is this something you expressed it to the others or no?
I don't know if Dora has the words to understand it themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you keep that to yourself, knowing the feeling in essence, but not knowing how to articulate that feeling. And I think by this point you're at the door to the research lab. Well, do you want to knock? There's like a buzzer you can press as well.
There should be an automated magical keyhole that the professor has this advanced technology that will scan faces, and it will be like, Professor, Professor, Professor.
Dora is what the door says. And
open the Dora.
Open the Dora. Yeah, you hear, you see that there is like a crackle, and then the professor's face appears. She is an older black woman with like short gray hair, dressed in kind of like a light blue lab coat. And as she looks at you, she's like, Dora, darling, hi. Good to see you. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, Professor. May we have a moment of your time for something to discuss?
Sure. I know the sense is telling me it's you, but you some kind of big flashlight is pointing at the screen or something. Could you put it down, perhaps?
I may require your assistance. My friends and I would like to enter.
Could I use a little bit of magic? Because I do like flashes and sparkles. Can I do a dimming of the light?
Sure, I think that's something you can do. Absolutely. Yeah, you do that, and the professor is kind of squinting, and she's like, "Oh, yep, come in. Yep, in you come. All right. Yep, let's have a look at you. Yep." And you, as the door is is open for you to head in. You head in. So this lab, as I said, it is there's no outside light getting into it. It's dark out anyway, but there are no windows. It's lit. You can see like it has different settings. That right now there are like certain areas that are like really brightly lit. Others are kind of dimmer so that it doesn't like start causing migraines, which is what would happen to me. And you head into Professor Sophia's office, which is a kind of expansive, plush office. And she kind of looks up and she's like, "Oh, yes, Dora, dear, you're here. And you've brought some friends. Hello, friends. Hi. What can I do for you? Just you wanted to turn down the settings a little bit? Have a little look at you?"
That would be ideal, yes. However, I have noticed that I have been experiencing strange memory feedback loops since Princess Harmony's disappearance, and most importantly, since engaging with some very unusual ruins that you may have expertise in some time ago. And Dora does the explanation of what happened during the original trial, and now she'll lay out the extra things that she has been doing. Without the conclusion at the point, thus I am tired, but it sounds heavy to anyone hearing it.
Okay. Yeah, as you say that, she kind of she presses her lips together. She seems a little bit worried. If you don't mind, she will come up to you and she'll kind of like press an ear to like your shoulder and then like your chest and kind of like listening inside you a little bit. Like, Okay. Yep. There's a lot going on in there. Sure. Have you been doing anything strenuous? Or
Yes, I have been conducting a block-by-block search of Princess Harmonia. I have been conducting a search of all artifacts in the library about news sightings related to her disappearance. I have been interviewing witnesses who have been at the things. I have clocked right now 141 witnesses so far. I've also been gathering information in a chronological format and tome for my companions to study thereafter. And
okay. Okay. Wonderful. Good stuff. Stop doing that.
that will hinder our efforts to find Princess Harmonia.
Oh, that's not on you. That's on the guards and the king and whatnot. You should be getting ready for graduation. It's not. That's.
Headmistress Narcisse has specifically made it our business, in the parlance, to find Princess Harmonia.
I think Headmistress Narcisse doesn't know what she's talking about, so don't worry about that. I'll have a chat with her.
Oh, you don't.
Hello.
She seems sus to me.
You could roll to figure person out if you want to. It's up to you.
Can I?
Yeah, of course you
Y'all
can.
okay with that? Yeah, conversations are continuing, but oh no. Were I playing Serenity, that would be a botch. I rolled 2 1s.
Oh goodness me. Okay. Yeah, XP. Take that.
That's
XP.
true. I'm 1 away from an advancement.
Hey, it's great. That's great. Yeah, you kind of take a look at this woman. She gives off a vibe that's kind of so analytical and kind of she's so she's perceiving Dora right now in a way that is like, oh, I'm looking after hardware. Not that she perceives Dora as hardware, but right now she's looking into that aspect of her. So her intentions aren't that easy to kind of grasp right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's, if anyone else wants to roll, feel free. But yeah, she's going to be like, I think you should just go get some rest. You're working hard all day at the academy, and then you're off traipsing through the streets. I don't think that's you don't need to be doing that. It's fine. I'm going to say, yeah, Dora, even though like she's kind of like looking into you right now, I think that you feel yourself kind of overclocking even more, and you're not even doing anything now. You're just kind of like feeling, everything feels amplified right now. Everything feels a bit too much. And you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna stagger you. Yes.
Dora's got ADHD.
Mood. So when you suffer a staggering physical or emotional blow, choose an option from the below based on the number of conditions you have marked. How many conditions do you have?
None.
Yeah, good job. All right, so it's still between 0 and 3 conditions. So you lash out at someone whose regard matters to you, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, take advantage of a string, you hold on them if applicable. Or you hesitate or stumble and the opposition gains an opportunity, or you grin and bear the blow, mark 2 conditions.
I think I'll have Dora lash out in that case. As Dora hears the, no, you're just tired, go rest. I think Dora at this point, like almost kind of cliche, head cocks and one of her eyes just twitches more than the other. Princess Harmonia is missing. My friends need my help. If I don't help my friends, I am not a good friend. If I am not a good friend, I am not worthy of activation. If I am not useful to them, I am not worthy of activation. I must be worthy of activation. I don't want to be deactivated. I don't want to be alone. I want to be with my friends. Please help me avoid activation. Do what you must to help me avoid activation. Please don't deactivate me. Please don't deactivate me. Please don't deactivate me.
she'll look helplessly at the rest of you.
I will like move forward and just if Ida's okay, just place 2 hands on the shoulders from the front. It's like no one's going to deactivate you. You're not here to be of use. You're here to be our friend, and you are our friend.
She's right.
Being useful isn't the be-all, end-all. Just being here and being yourself is also extremely important. More so in many cases.
I
You
think
know, you'd say the same to me.
My purpose is to be useful. I don't understand other purposes.
You can see that the professor is kind of like rubbing at her temple. She's like looking very conflicted. I think I might be able to help potentially. She like looks at you again, Dora, and I think you can see the kind of concern in her eyes. Like, it's not just kind of like base level. It's like, the concern that like a family member would give to another one. I think you can all see in this moment that like she does genuinely care about Dora. She's gonna say, okay, sure, no, yeah, yep, and is going to run and lock the door, and be like, okay, going to show you something. If you could keep it to yourselves, that would be great. You're not going to, but I think we need to go. She like notices that you're kind of like glitching out even more, Dora, and she's like, okay, we should, okay, and is going to go over to her desk and is going to pull a handle and twist it, and you see one of the bookcases slides open, and she's like, okay, I'm just not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. Just follow me. Come on. And she'll, if you don't mind, Ida, she will take your hand and she will lead you downstairs.
Are we all going?
Yeah, we're all going. We're not. No, we're not staying up here.
She hasn't asked you to. She's just
mysterious
left
door.
open.
I think, given Chrry's reputation, she purposefully takes out her weave mirror and puts it on the side to show it's not going down, and then follows.
As we're going and seeing that Dora's twitching further, I start to sing.
Okay.
And it's the continuation of the lyrics that Dora has already read, which I've written a full song for.
What?
Oh my god, we need to have that somewhere for people to see.
That's so cool.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. XP, take it. Take 2 XP. You wrote a song. Take 2 XP. I'm gonna hear it.
Dora's switching would absolutely at least stop being so erratic, and would just kind of sway in melody, almost as if unconsciously to the melody.
I'm just loving the punning of that, because melodies.
As soon as it left my mouth, I was like, But Dora trusts this professor entirely, so just no resistance. Whatever person needs to do, she's like, follows, goes.
Okay. Yeah, she leads you down. And I think, Dora, as you're led down, you feel a kind of like a feeling that's similar to what you've been going through, as like a kind of like a rise in power almost, but at the same time it's like it's bigger, but it's being compressed. Like it's you're not feeling like, the further you go down, you're not feeling like you're overclocking. You're feeling like your power is growing but being harnessed, if that makes sense. And the rest of you, actually, as you're heading down there, feel a similar thing. You haven't been going through the same feelings as Dora, but you feel like if any of you have your swords with you at the moment, they might be glowing slightly. They might, like, maybe, for example, Nyx, your glaive might be getting like a bit longer, a bit like the actual like blade of it might be getting a bit like sharper. And you have two swords, don't you, Chrry? Yeah, I think those kind of would be, I assume they're bright pink.
They are. They've got like engraved cherry blossom down the steel and
so cool.
like pink enamel.
I think like cherry blossoms did like lean into like the Sailor Moon aesthetic. I think the cherry blossoms are kind of like cascading, like would be cascading off of them and like kind of flowing into the breeze, and like the pink hue would be getting even sharper. And Melody, your blade that kind of like emits like a tone, like the tone would be getting even stronger and even more pleasant to the ear almost. And Dora, does Dora use a weapon?
She has what is effectively a lightsaber on her person, but she can manifest it, so it's not always visible out. So.
Yeah, I think it would be similar to you. It would be kind of like almost thrumming, almost like it's difficult to see because of the lightsaber, but like you know yourself that it would be like more powerful than it ever has been before. And she leads you down and leads you into a huge antechamber, something that you would not expect to be down here. This is bigger than the whole research lab itself. And you see what looks like a huge rock. Huge. It dwarfs you. And as the kind of lights, even before the lights come on, you can see that there are kind of blue runes similar to that of what that you saw in the trial, kind of flickering to life all over this thing. And as you get closer to this thing, Dora, yeah, you feel completely at ease. And Professor Sophia turns as she leads you towards it, and she's like, I worried that this would happen. I worried that if you were separated from it for too long, then it would be detrimental to you. And I voiced my concerns, but they said that you couldn't. But I don't know if I don't know if I care anymore.
What is this, Professor? Why do I know it?
She will like take your hand and grasp it gently and look into your eyes and say, we found you with this. What I told you about how we found you, mostly true, but you came out of this, and you can like look at it now and you'll see that this thing is like connected up to kind of like wires and like all sorts of things that are leading off to like different kind of like computer looking things along the side, like huge ones, small ones, like all sorts of different screens. And she'll say, I think maybe this is why you've been feeling a little bit more off than you have before. How do you feel now?
I feel calm. I feel at ease. The headmistress had made cryptic comments about the runic door before, and you had mentioned something right now unspecified about being told otherwise. What exactly?
What did she say exactly?
I believe it was to the effect that I may be encountering these again. Ida thinks.
Well, she does like to run her mouth. I'll admit, when you had that trial, I was keeping an eye on how things were going. I had a kind of drone watching you go through. I did, and that's when I saw that you interacted with that door, and it seemed to kind of bend to your will. And I didn't put that in there. Nobody set that up. It was all it. I think that this thing did it. And she gestures to the big rock. I think the meteor did it. The meteor does a lot of things that we don't understand, and I'm trying hard to understand, but...
Meteor.
That's, we just call it the meteor. We think you came out of it. We don't know exactly, but there was a crater, and then there was you, and you couldn't have been riding it, so you must have come out of it, right? I'm sorry, I know this must be a lot to take in. I believe that this is what gives the wielders their power.
That is very critical information.
Yep.
Is the headmistress aware of this?
Yes.
Would the headmistress's potential enemies be aware of this?
No. Not that I know of.
Did Yamai study in the archaeology department? Yamai Red Silk.
Yes.
Does the royal family know of the existence of this?
Yes.
So is Yamai trying to find this thing's location through the princess? It's my thought.
I don't know exactly what Yamai's intentions are, but I do believe that she discovered this at some point. Yes. I don't think she came here particularly, maybe, but maybe she saw some of my notes and did some digging. So she will take your hand, Dora, and she'll like lead you towards it. I think maybe you being closer to this is possibly a good thing. I think for the last 2-3 years you've been away from it, and I don't think it's doing you any good to be away.
Understood. Does that mean I cannot be with my friends long term?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I never thought that you should be deprived access from this, but I was told that it wasn't possible for you to, that we had to study it, and that, well, the king didn't want you to have access to it.
Curious.
Why?
Also rude. Technically, you have more claim over this than he does.
You know, the monarchy.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, something landed in their territory, and now they stake claim to it. Well, they just stake claim to whatever they can.
Could this help us find Princess Harmonia?
Possibly.
Wait.
Oh.
Yamai was looking for this. And we need to draw her out, right?
Is it time for a live stream?
The professor's like, dear God, no. For the love of God, please, I'm not supposed to be showing you this. I just needed to do it for Dora. So if you could just hold fire on that, that would be so good. Dora, can you come with me? And she'll lead you over to what they've been referring to as the meteor.
Is the Ember Stone?
No, the
Okay,
Ember
just
Stone.
a big thing that the
Yeah. However, in a way, you think it kind of shares a resemblance for sure. Like whether it was unconscious or maybe Professor Sophia was trying to kind of make it known in a way. You're not sure, but it has a bit of a resemblance on a smaller scale. And she'll gesture for you to reach your hand out to touch it, Dora. But it's up to you if you do.
touch. If the professor is moving her to touch it, then Dora will fully trusting touch. But before she does that, she'll just like kind of turn around and look at the three of them with her gaze like lasting the longest on Melody and then turning back to touch the glowing stone.
Similarly to what happened when you touched the runes in the trial, the whole thing lights up. The runes start kind of cascading, the light starts moving through them. And you can see Professor Sophia's eyes going huge as instead of, I don't know, this rock doing something that you might imagine it to do, you hear a as two doors open, revealing the interior of a ship.
Oh.
And Dora, as soon as you see this place, it all clicks. You know that this was yours. You know that you weren't meant to be here, but you ended up crash landing here. You know that this is specifically designed to look like something like an object of debris that would be floating through space so that it wouldn't be noticed by anyone. And you know that it is in fact the source of the power for the wielders. You know that this is a kind of power and technology that comes from you and your civilization, which you left. And you know that this is important. This is yours. This is not your home, but this is definitely from your home. And you feel like this is a huge power that you could harness in front of you.
Thank you, Professor, for trusting us.
Sorry, I've been studying this thing for so long. It was a ship. Oh gosh, it was a ship. Okay, cool. Okay, should have maybe figured that out a bit earlier. Oh wow, thought I was okay at my job. Cool. Okay, no, it's fine. Yes, sorry. The reason I'm doing this is because I think that you've been without this thing for too long, and I think we should be addressing that. And I think if it's to do with all of the wielders, like I think it is, then maybe you could use this to reach out to Yamai. I'm not sure.
I would like to try.
And Melody, referring back to what we know and what you thought about Yamai, and recalling back to your friendship with her in the last episode, this is definitely the time to call out to her.
We need to do it. I think this is the time, Dora.
Professor, please continue to trust us.
I will. I trust you, Dora, and if you trust your friends, I trust them too.
I trust my friends very dearly. We trust each other. It is hard sometimes, but we are friends. And sometimes friends is not adequate to describe our relationships.
I don't know what that last bit means, but yes, absolutely. After you, I suppose. She'll gesture for you to head in.
Cherry Heart, would you please set up a stream?
Once again, do we have to do the stream? That's my only concern. If you do the stream, I might be dead, you might be dead. Maybe we don't do the stream, because I think that would be bad.
Maybe we don't do the stream.
Maybe we don't do the stream. Maybe we don't.
Nix,
it would
would you
be
help
a
us?
surefire way. Sorry.
Nix, would you help us secure our defensive capacities? And offensive as well.
I mean, I can fight as well as the next person, but what exactly do you want me to do?
Once we call out Yamai, do we expect them to come to our location? Do we meet somewhere?
She did teleport out.
Yeah, I think she'll come here. And I don't know that she'll be hostile necessarily. So we can be prepared for that, but yeah.
Okay. I am going to offer you some XP, Ida, to head into the ship and to try and utilize its power to reach out to Yamai.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's absolutely do that. So if there's a capacity for the doors or anything to remain open so everyone sees what's going on inside, Dora will facilitate that. And almost as if she's not in control of her body, but she's just kind of a viewer, an audience member, watches her with lightning speed. Her fingers just kind of glide over these buttons that digitally appear, manifest out of light. All these panels and consoles start lighting up that weren't visible before. And sounds, there's extra whirring, just big vibration happening in the room as she is tapping into essence of magic and somehow now trying to facilitate Yamai based on what she's been told about her.
Yeah, you see the professor's eyes are like saucers watching you do this, like, oh my god, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. You utilize the power of this recently previously dubbed meteor, now as a ship, and you can feel that you reach out to Yamaya and you connect with her, and you can sense some kind of alarm, confusion, and then conviction, excitement. It's almost like you've kind of conveyed everything to her in a split second. And you see behind you, the rest of you, Yamai is there. But it's not just her, the princess is also there.
Okay, Nix's glaive is out, by the way. I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but yeah, fully extended and out in a ready position if needs be.
Yeah. You can see that Yamai is also holding on to her sword, and the princess is also holding on to a shield. That's her weapon. In effect, it's less of a weapon, more of like something she utilizes for battle. She's more of a protective person, and they're both kind of staring. And Yamai is looking around like, okay, this is not what I was expecting to walk into, but sure, yeah, okay. Hey, what's up?
Completely
found the thing.
ignoring Yamai. Princess Harmonia, are you safe? 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 Princess
Princess Harmonia, as she like steps out into the light, you'll see that she's no longer wearing like a kind of like long flowing dress. Her long hair has been tied up into kind of more of a like a useful like bun so that it doesn't get in her way. She's wearing more of like a kind of, you would call it a catsuit maybe, and she looks more equipped to fight. And she kind of steps forward like, yeah, I'm good. Sorry, this is probably confusing. I'm okay. This looks probably bad. I got kidnapped. I did get kidnapped, and then Yamai's like, yeah, no, I absolutely kidnapped her. Yeah, for sure. Sorry. It was because of all that. Okay, cool.
Have you been remaining with Jamai willingly thus far?
Yeah. And
I've heard about this. Like, this is Brillholm syndrome.
What? What is it? What syndrome is it? What? Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. We had a chat and we've been talking some things through. Looks bad. I'm aware of that, and I will see a therapist as soon as I can to go through the kind of the communication and stuff. However, I did fall in love with her, so that's yeah. It's very Beauty and the Beast. No, I know it's bad. I know how bad it is, but and then like Yamai's like, we need to know. We said that we were going to put some, we said that we were going to discuss that once again. Therapy. We need to go to therapy. Okay, but yeah. The princess is like, right. So Yamai told me that she found out about. I'll let you talk about. Yeah, and she's like, okay, cool, right. And then Yamai goes on to explain that she did find out about this. She found out about this power that was being drawn from this meteor, and she found out that the monarchy were keeping it to themselves and were using it to harness the power of the wielders for themselves, because at any moment, if the wielders wanted to kind of disobey, then they would be able to basically en masse control all of them using this, including yourselves.
So I'm just being used again.
Yamai's like, oh, Chrry, hi. A little bit, yeah. But it's all happening to all of us. I've been cast out of society a little bit because they said that I was being terrible, and I'm not. I just found out what they were doing, and I spoke to the princess about it. Here we are. This is all a little bit rushed, I feel like, but I kind of like, you called me here, and I got the vibe immediately because, was it you? And she'll like point to Dora, because I felt like it kind of like connection in my head.
Yes, this originally belongs to me. As such, I am manifest incarnate of the power of the wielders.
Oh, that's super sick. That's really cool. That's really cool. We should talk. That's really fun.
As such, while I agree with the initial assessment that power should not be monopolized for the few over the many, this course of action of kidnapping and a lack of dialogue is not the appropriate one.
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of at a loss. I didn't really know how to go about it. Once again, I also need to go to therapy. Was not the right way to do things, but I'd been cast out for a long time. Was kind of at my wit's end, so yeah, there is that. But I'm glad you know. Yep.
What's the plan then? What are you hoping to do with this? What?
Okay, so I was gonna kind of destroy it, but I didn't know that it was kind of tied to you. So now I'm kind of back to square one with that. I was hoping that maybe the princess could talk to her dad about it, but she seems to think that he's not going to be very receptive to not having a brand new powerful army at his disposal. So
I I think we suggest one last time, now that the princess is here, the princess to do a live stream.
The princess is like, what do you want me to...
To tell everyone about it. People will trust you.
I've been trying to kind of get my head around the fact that my father is using all of my friends and peers en masse for the last few months. And it's been difficult, but I think she's going to look to you, Dora. I think she ties all of this to you. You are the source of this. She'll step up towards you. She won't step into the ship because she sees that as like yours. And she'll say, what do you want me to do, Dora?
Princess Harmonia, I recognize that this is difficult, and I thank you for being sincere with the challenges that lay before you and for considering all of the situation. Some of us, looks at her friends, have been made to feel like outcasts in the past, or have felt that our personalities or our traits have made us rather unique and thus sometimes not always within the ideal circle of friends, if any. However, through discussions, through trust, through experiences, and through communicating our emotions, we have determined that together we will come to the right conclusion. We will come to conclusions that keep in mind people's emotions, rights, and perhaps find friendship and things beyond. Would you be our friend, Princess Harmonia? Yamai, would you be our friend? Could we resolve this together as friends, even if we do not know the final resolution?
Princess Harmonia kind of listens to you and looks at you and nods slowly, and says, I think that could work out. I could do that. And Yamai will step forward and be like, yeah, I think we should all be friends. And that we should work together as friends and it'll be fine. Yes, great, cool. Yeah.
Is there a different relationship which you wish to explore beyond friendship?
No, no. So I cannot emphasize enough the fact that therapy, I'm not in a position to, okay, yeah. It's a discussion for another time. Princess Harmonia is just like,
Well, I have a couple of questions. Just briefly. So, this ship is the reason why we all have our powers, and if it goes away, we don't have them anymore?
yeah, that's how I understand it. And Professor Sophia will chime in and say, I believe that's the case, yes.
And the king has been harnessing our powers, has been taking advantage of us.
The princess chimes in this time and just kind of, with kind of gritted teeth, is like, yeah, that's what's been going on. He's been building up an army for himself.
Dora, does this ship have an autopilot?
Yes.
What would happen if you launched it back into space?
It would go automatically to any set of coordinates it is given.
But if it goes to Hugo, can you stay without it?
Yes, but eventually I would malfunction.
Then that's not an option. That's not happening.
The professor will step forward and say, I can think of something. I will think of something. You're not getting deactivated, Dora.
No.
I would like to trust everyone here. I am comfortable sending it far away. I am comfortable with the risk of being deactivated. However, it is not a conclusion I wish to march forward to with any sort of certainty. There is, however, certainty that I will get to remain here. As for your powers, that is yet to be uncertain.
We could set it on a course so that it will go out and then maybe come back, and then we can take it to a place where only we know, and then we can, I don't know, connect you with it and then send it off again. It doesn't have to be finite.
That is a wise course. And Dora will just kind of turn around and, let's say, interface without physically touching the machine. Like her eyes will just go completely white, and you see like all these zeros and ones matrix that cross up and down her, over her eyes and sometimes over her face. And then the door slams shut on the stone, and all you see is the glowing stone. And it starts to vibrate. So if it's at this point, if the professor has a roof that opens, that would be
Yes. She absolutely does, yes.
Mm-hmm.
She presses like a big red button and kind of pulls out.
Engage. And Dora would invite everyone to step back as the stone starts hovering and goes hovering beyond the ceiling, beyond the roof, beyond the building. And once it has made some sort of clearance, enough so that it's still just glowing above the building in its bright blue and green light, in almost an instant, this sort of jet tail underneath it glows, and like a comet flies directly vertically up into the sky.
Yeah. And I think all of you step back and stand together and watch as this glowing blue orb heads out, and it's there until it's not. And you don't see anymore. You just see stars.
A shooting star. Isn't it custom to make wishes when one sees a shooting star?
Chrry makes a wish.
What does Chrry wish for?
I think as the ship blinks out of sight, Chrry goes to lace her fingers with Nyx's.
It's almost like you're reading my mind, because that is what Nyx was going to do. So as you reach out your hand towards them, their hand is already there reaching towards yours.
Kind of look at Nyx and just squeeze slightly.
Squeezes back and holds on. Well, we'll see what happens.
And then under Chrry's breath, she's like, that was quick.
Melody, Melody looking up at the star and the light that disappeared, will just be like, that was amazing. You're amazing. I love you. What? Hologram Heart. That's the name of the album that I'm working on.
I would like to hear that.
Yeah.
I have a request. I apologize if it may seem inconsiderate. May I hear it exclusively from you with no one else around?
I think we can do that. Yeah.
That makes me happy. That also makes me scared, but it makes me happy. I do not understand how these two emotions can coexist.
You'll get used to it.
Who can?
No one.
Frustrating. All right.
And you see Princess Harmonia try to reach a hand out to to Yamai, and Yamai very gently puts it down, like, not now, no. Gotta talk to someone first. Gotta. I understand, so I know. And the princess is like, yeah. I would say all of you who are wielders, you feel as the meteor heads out into the sky, you feel the overwhelming power that you once had kind of dissolving. You feel as though it's still there, but very, very subdued. And in a way that is the least violent, least there's no conflict involved. You've just done something for the betterment of everyone ultimately. You diffuse the situation and feel at peace as you do. And that's where we will end this arc of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, everyone. Oh, I love role-playing games. I wasn't expecting that to be how things ended, but it was good.
I guess we can resolve what happens when revolution takes place in season 2.
Look, I think that this is a really good place to leave off, and I would be very interested in exploring more what happens with thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you so much HoT of Tales for allowing us to play this fantastic game on your channel. It's been real fun, and thank you Evil Hat for sponsoring us to play this wonderful game. I can't believe that we were allowed to just make these wonderful characters and see where they went. Fantastic stuff. Let's go around and say who we are and where you can find us. Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I am a science communicator. You can find me. I've not said it once throughout all of these, but you can find me at Sam Size across Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I'm also part of the team at Science and Sorcery, where we smash together TTRPGs and STEM and make some hilarious and silly stories. So please do come and watch the stuff that we do. Thank you so much to HoT of Tales for having us here. Thank you to our wonderful producer Darcy in the background for making this a delight to be part of. And yeah, thank you to Liv for running it as well.
Thank you very much for playing. Anya.
Yeah, I'm Anya. I'm lalionnecosplay everywhere. And the coming weekend after this episode airs, I'm going to be at Dokumi in Dusseldorf. So if you want to see me in one of my Daisy cosplays or hang out, I'll be in the Nord Park most of the weekend. But yeah, I hope we'll see you there.
Amazing. Ida.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. My name is Ida. You can find me at In the Pan. As for the announcement I said, you're going to hear it first. This is probably my last project here at HoT of Tales. I am going to be moving on with a dear friend of mine, with Darcy, and we are going to be kicking off a brand new community that really focuses on diversity of casts and games, and we're going to call it Euphoria, because we're feeling kind of euphoric about these amazing stories. And I hope you're going to join us there. Find us at our socials, which I will post in the chat. And please support us as we support more tables that look like this at this time of day and night, that we can get excited for, that professionals can, that professional companies can also support and see that we are the vehicle moving forward. Help us out. Come feel euphoric with us.
That's amazing.
What an amazing project and name. And yeah, such a good name. Oh,
you know what we're doing. You know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
Be their friends.
Amazing. And Sakaya.
Hi, that is such exciting news. I am Sakaya. I go by she, her pronouns. You can find me on the transmissions. where we run podcasts and live streams every Tuesday. So check that out if you like. And yes, thank you so much, Liv, for a great game.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful table. All of everyone's been so receptive, and I've just been making plans with everyone behind the scenes, and I just love running for this table. So thank you for having me. Thank you, HoT of Tales. Thank you, Evil Hat. You should support the channel and us by clicking in the link and checking out those games. So many cool games, and also if you're watching during Pride Month, 20% off when you use the code Pride24. So check that out. I'm Liv Kennedy. I'm from the podcast 3 Black Halflings, which is at number 3 Black Halflings. We talk about being people of color in the tabletop industry, and also just pop culture stuff, and it's really fun. You can find me at Does Dark Magic, because I do dark magic, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of fun things with 3BH and by myself. So yeah, check it out. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Darcy. And season 2, we'll see. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride!